Alright, pictorial isometric, the first one, and we're just going to draw this little boxy looking thing. You can get your 30-60 degree, the tall and skinny triangle out and use it if you want to, but truthfully I've already given you graph paper that already has the angles, so we just have to count and follow those. Get everything light first, then we go back and darken. So we have our glass box. Now let's transfer those views in that box. Let's start with the front view here. I know that it has something that looks like an L, and it says it's 2 1/4 this way, and then up to here is a half. Just reading those measurements. Each square is equal to 1/4 inch, so that means 2 1/4 would be 9 squares back from the corner. So 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. Where it hits here, I'm going to bring it just straight down. And then if I measure here is up a half, so that would be up 2, so I'm going to measure up a half to that. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and measure it here. So I've got that part of it. So I have my L. I have A. Let's go ahead and get B. So B, I know, is a rectangular piece that goes up here. If I follow this line back where it goes here, then I have B. Okay, so I've got A, I've got B. So now let's get this little part, C and D. We want to get it. Okay, on that part, we need to do something first. I've only gotten this part of it here. I need to bring my line straight down until this meets back here, and then bring this back at the angle, following that angle. I need to try to like make the little ledge that it sits on, because if I look in that front view here, that horizontal plane, I can see that it's got that little part here, and then I can look in the top view and see that it's got a little gap. So my top view, I know it's got a 1/4 inch gap all the way around. So it looks something like that on that surface here. So that's this part right here, the line right here. Then I know it needs to come up a half. So I need to come up from there, up a half, up a half, and follow those lines back. So I've used it to help get that view. So now, let's go darken in. Let's get that 0.9. And again, it doesn't really matter which triangle you use on this one because we are following the guidelines given to us on the graph paper. So technically you can use whichever one you like, but I just have a tendency to like to use the 30-60. So whatever I'm drawing, I typically try to use that same triangle. I get it back where it's nice and horizontal so you can see what I was drawing again. I like to spin it around as I'm working because it makes it a little easier for me sometimes. Sometimes it's a lot easier to move paper than to move the whole drawing. Notice I don't draw it as it goes through. Pictorials, we do not draw hidden lines. And do a little shading so it stands out a little better. Because that is our D. And here's C. That's also D. Or let's make that E. So this surface becomes E. And I'm going to go ahead and shade it to make it a little easier for you to see. And remember, anytime that you get off, get your eraser shield and erase it, because I need to erase this corner right here, that corner right here, this little part right here. So just look in your corners and see where you need to clean it up. All right. First isometric.